Hey guys! So for today's video, we will water our orchids. It's been a while that I watered them, probably like 2 weeks ago. We will have to check first if they're due for water. For a long time, probably they are, but you always want to check them first. How to know when they are due for water? So what I do is like take them out of the base. Normally that has like a transparent one so you can see the roots. This has a little bit green, but some are like starting to get white like this, like on the top, if you could see. That means that it is due for water. Also, I think this is due for repot, but since it started growing, it's spiking out, so we don't want to do that on this moment, because there's a possibility that it will just die or will not grow. So we'll just leave it there for now, and then when it starts blooming and it's over, then we can repot them. That one is due. This one too. This one is more clear. If you can see, it's all white. This one needs repot too because the roots are bouncing already, but we cannot do that because it's growing, and yeah, we can just leave it like that, but we need to water them. So that's how I check them before I put it in the water. So I also use like a plant food for orchids. I only do this once in a while, maybe once a month or every 2 months. This will give like the minerals that the orchids will actually need. So this is a good one to get in. You can either, this one has a spray, you can just mix it through the leaves or directly to the roots, or you can also add in the water. So this one is also growing, so we just leave it like that. When it's growing, you make sure your orchid will not like lose water. I feel like this is super dry, it's all white now. So we try not to leave it without any water on it. So I just place this with water. Not too cold, not too warm. Then I will add my food here in the water. Stir it a little bit. And then we just leave this here. We'll just soak them for about like 2 to 5 minutes. So we just leave it for about 5 minutes this time because it has the food, so we make sure it absorbs well. While we are waiting for that, we can take advantage of the time to check the other roots and get it ready. So this one, you just be careful. This one is pretty new to our house, so you see the roots are white, so this one is really due for water. If you see like roots like that, it's okay to just cut it. These are the dead ones. We don't need that. Okay, this is done. We'll go for the next one. We'll just take it out and just leave it here. There. So the water will continue draining, because that's what we are also avoiding. Make sure there's no water in the pot. Sometimes you just have to like tilt it a little bit. Make sure the water is coming out. And then we put the next one. So what I'm doing here, before I put it in the water, I'm taking out the bad roots. And then when it's ready to go, we just put it in the water. sometimes I'll just add a little bit more water on top. Now we'll just wait for another 5 minutes. So while these are soaked in the water and now they are still draining, the ones that I did first can go to their own pot. But before I do that, I try to clean the pot, check how is it, if it's still okay. So I'll just clean it with towel and then I can put the orchid back. So this one is the newest one that I got. My husband gave it to me this Valentine's Day. So I just put an ice on it. It tells you how to water them. Like here. So I like checking the roots actually. So I want to take this out. Oh, there you go. So I can actually check the root system and I can do however I want it to water it. So putting an ice cube on the orchids is another way to water them, but I like putting them in the water. So what I'm gonna do with this is cut these dead roots. You won't do anything on it anyways. You only repot orchids like once a year, so I don't think I need to repot this. Put it in the water. This is how I like orchids to be watered. I'll just wait 5 minutes for this one and I will just prepare my other orchid. We can still put this back. There you go. But when you touch it, you feel that there's still something. It's not dry totally. You just need water. So I will not cut that one. I'll just cut the ones that's totally like you feel that there's nothing on it. It's just like a string on it. Whatever it is, I'll just cut by the knot. You see there's nothing inside. So I think this should be good. Oh, there's one more here. There you go. Little root bun. So the last steps before I put them to their place, I clean the leaves. I use the same food for orchids that I have, and like this for cotton, I'll just spray a little bit both sides, and then just if I don't put any food plant for them, I just use water, which is still good. So you clean the leaves like that. Make sure like they stay clean and healthy. So sometimes I also like direct mist the plant directly to the leaves, and I just like dry it with each cotton. So here where I put all my orchids after I water them, but it's always been like that. They really love being here because there's no direct sun, but there's enough light throughout the day. So they are so happy. You can tell because they keep growing even though it just finished blooming. They keep growing.